seems like audio is working. Alright, once again, we're back at the pre-stream FE sorter. Which, hey, cool fact, I have now finished 3 hopes. Well, I have finished a route of 3 hopes. So I'm like a third-ish of the way through that, but I beat Scarlet Blaze campaign, so I'm gonna say that's good enough for now. I do enjoy the game, and I do want to see the other routes, but I haven't even finished Verdant Wind in 3 houses, so I should probably do that at some point as well. I guess I also haven't done Silver Snow, but I'm not going to. Do you want to play Verdant Wind, but like, with the Black Eagles, but not Edelgard? No, I don't. If the Black Eagles are here, I want Edelgard to be here too. But yeah, now I do know Arvel's deal, and it is kinda sad. But yeah, I'll get around to that at some point, get around to Verdant Wind at some point, though. At the moment, I am, going to finish up Fire Emblem Engage. Well, I say finish up. I have started from the beginning, because I figure... I don't remember what I was doing with team composition, and I don't think it was all that good, because I was playing Engage like a modern Fire Emblem, and, boy, it plays like the older ones in that you kind of just need to have your team in mind. Like, there are grinding maps, but I think the problem I was having is they're actually kind of just statted out like a regular map, so you kind of just have to take your actually good units to those. So really it's just for resources, not for getting the entire army up to the same page. So yeah, you kind of just have to pick favorites, as far as I can tell. But I do definitely want Olwen, so that Citrine can get real good with those tomes. Anyway, I'm saying a whole lot of words. Between these two, speaking of Engage, the Engage one loses this time. Conrad wins that one. And let's see, Noma's a nice old man, but Leon kind of wins this one. He's a major villain, that's probably gonna happen. Arter's alright. I think Noma's not got that much involvement in the game, so I'm gonna go for you. Bertrand's okay, but, not the biggest fan of the optional content stuff, but yeah, Emerin does have one of the better moments in Awakening, so gotta go with her. Oh hey, speaking of Olwen, you're pretty cool. Love your ring and engage. Canis, easily. Oh, but you do win over Leonardo, though. Nerd. That being said... Garnif's just like... the world's most aggressive man. Just the most aggressive, spiteful man. Like, somebody picked somebody else for Dodgeball, and that has just turned Garnif into whatever's going on with his whole face situation. Like, I guess technically speaking, he picked up a book that was full of demons or whatever, and that probably just turned him decrepit, but I personally think that's just out of spite. I like Sophie, kinda, but Garnif, for just being a bastard, does kind of win that one. Oof, Must you pit cool women against each other? Especially since Catherine doesn't really have a chance in this one. Look, Catherine, I'm sorry. It's cool that you're simping for God, that's great, good for you, but I'm gonna go for a kitten on that one. Now that being said, I did have the thought when I was killing her in Scarlet Blaze, well, it'd be nice on other routes where you do get to play as Catherine. The only reason to go with the kingdom, I assume. It's putting the redheads against each other. Julian's kind of the original thief. He's okay. Azel doesn't really get much time, but I think I'm gonna go with Julian on that one. Yeah, yeah, think I'm gonna go with Setsuna on this one. Ooh, Shersh or Yuri? Shersh gets this one. Oh, Yuri wins this one easy, though. I'd say poor Orson, but he doesn't really deserve that. I'm gonna have to say X to Racing. Oh hey, Fernand. Good for you, you got a heroes guy. You got an easy win. Alright everybody, through the door. Why is it only giving me one choice for this one? Well, I mean, just for, you know, the bit, I'm gonna click on the blank space. Oh well, sorry Hannibal, wife's here. Sorry Hannibal, Lowen's here. What's your full body look like again? Name Elm. Let's see, there's the good wiki. I'm gonna say Jigen wins this one. Morva or Bart? I'm surprised Morva's even on here. He's well known for being murdered, and then he's a boss in the second to last chapter. And I mean, it's Bart, so why wouldn't I go with him? It's Iliana, why wouldn't I go with her? I think I names here a little more. Luis or Bruno. Oh god, I forgot there was a Racer and X in Fire Emblem Heroes. I don't remember why you have to be Racer X, but whatever. Oh god, really? Alright, you get in the garbage can, Tsubaki. Sorry, dead mom, I gotta go with Owain. Sorry, Skatith, I gotta go with dead mom. And I also cannot pronounce your name. Sorry. Oh man. This is mean because I think they'd both be friends. I think I gotta go Mordecai on that one. Definitely gotta go Hana on this one. Oh, Balthus, easy. Oh, Mir, easy. Aw, man. Sigrun, you're great, but Gold Mary wins that one. But Surrogate Mom can win this one at least. If Deirdre wins this, she wins this out of pity. Ashnard's great because he's one of the most straightforward villains in Fire Emblem. Like, he's just terrible. He's also in part terrible because of a fancy necklace or whatever, but like, he's just a terrible man. I think if he's my favorite straightforward guy, I might go with him. Because, yeah, you've got Medius. When you learn about his backstory, he was wronged a little bit. Yeah, there's a... Path of Radiance is up there with, like, genealogy and Thracia is one of the more complex ones. But the king is just terrible. The king just needs to die horribly. Yeah, let's see. Medius. Doom was kind of tragic. You got the... Actually, do the evil dragons appear in this list? No, Julius does. And I'm gonna say... Ashnard's one of the worst to ever sit on a throne, so he gets this one. Again, I feel like they'd be friends. I think they'd get along really well. Valbar would absolutely look after Garsha's son. He would totally look after Ross if Garsha needed to, like, go out for something. But I think I gotta go with Valbar. Oh, you win this one, though. Yeah. Not going with Rickon. Which one's Belf? Like, Rickon's just the chip on his shoulder child. Like, he doesn't like being short, but also he definitely acts like a kid, so I think he is supposed to be a kid. And it's probably just an addition to the English version to make it less weird that you can marry him. Or maybe he is just a very immature short guy. I don't know. But, you know, the fact that I can actually talk about him, unlike Belf, I know he's the Sable Order, but like... They should have just put all these guys on one horse, and I could have liked them as a group, but individually I don't remember which one's which. So Rickon gets that one. I'm gonna go Severa here, Kagero here. Julius is also terrible, but like... He was possessed by dragon at young age, so it's one of those. He didn't really have a chance. Kind of screwed over by birth versus... we're just gonna give you Tharja again because, basically, if I remember correctly, this might have been a Japan-only thing, but I think there was like a, character popularity poll for Awakening, and the characters got put into Fates and kind of got reversed because now the child characters are in the adult section, and then 3 characters in the child section heavily resemble the other characters from Awakening, so they're kind of just worse versions of them. So yeah, of course Tharja would be here. She was your only gay option in vanilla. Unfortunately, well, you could marry a woman. You did have to go with the baby zone in order to do that, so, you know, that's why it's a good thing there's a hack, or a mod to completely change that so that you can, you know, marry any other woman as a woman. And, you know, now that I'm thinking about that, yeah, I'm going with Julius. Go away, Saul. I better not call Saul. Yunika's pretty great. I'm gonna go with Ida over Kaze. Look, Kaze, I'm sorry, you're nice, but that's why you'll probably wind up in the middle. Just very inoffensive, nice boy. That would be Cavalier's kind of nice. This is Sylvia. I do wish I remembered more of the back half of Genealogy. I really gotta finish recording that footage so I can remember what the deal is there. Because I remember first gen. Just gonna remind myself real quick. Are you with... Oh wait, no, you're first gen, that's right, okay. No, you are the first gen dancer. Getting her mixed up. Yeah, Sylvia's the first gen dancer who... I don't know, I don't really feel like I have very strong opinions on Sylvia, honestly. I mean, I forgot she was the first gen dancer, but I guess that also does put you above Alec. So, oh right, yeah. Yeah, that's so great that in the game about how Holy Blood is actually bad, and that you really need to avoid incestuous relationships because it leads to dark dragons possessing your children. While it is the meta that anybody who doesn't have Holy Blood sucks and you shouldn't really focus on them, and also there's just a really good incest pairing, statistics-wise. Anyway, Jake is the boyfriend of Anna from Shadow Dragon. Like Beck, his notable feature is that he has a ballista, so that's pretty much it. The problem is he's up against Roy, who's perhaps my least favorite lord in the series, because he's just so boring. I mean, Jake's got a ballista. I don't know, you're the son of Ellie Wood. I guess you got into Smash Brothers. I guess since you did introduce people playing Smash Brothers Melee to Fire Emblem in some capacity, I guess I'll go with you, but I'm not enthused about Go away, Makalov. You know, I probably would have voted Sonya weirdly highly anyway. Again, terrible mom. Not Makalov, though. Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna say Inigo wins this one. Siegbert is just the preppy son of Xander. I can't see him having any other facial expression or any other hairstyle. I feel like he just always looks like that. Like, maybe he'll wear a polo instead. But yeah. Oh god. I vaguely remember, I think it was GGDG who just did a comic of Siegbert thinking that his dad's calling his name, but no, he's actually calling for his sword. Is the sword again Siegmund? No, that's the lance. It's gonna drive me crazy. What is Xander's sword's name again? Let's see. Okay, Siegfried. Yeah, so I do just... Anytime I have to acknowledge Siegbert's existence, I just think of that comic. Just his dad calling for his sword instead. Yeah, Chris got a win somehow. This is Three Houses Design Monica. I'm going to assume, though, that, either this counts for, Kranya, or it also counts for Three Hopes, Monica. In which case, I'm probably gonna go with her. Sorry, Stefan, you are actually a very interesting Myrmidon, but I'm gonna go Monica. You do win over Naush, though. Loot over God, obviously. Fiora over God, obviously. Minerva's lover over God. Barn Boy wins this one. I never use Zane, but I do find him interesting. Milady's only discount Minerva, but that's... The name Minerva still came up. Oof. Win that one, though. I'm gonna go with Gonzalez. Sorry, Rickard. I know you think you have the looks, but Gonzalez has got the heart. Also, recently, I saw somebody point out how weird it is that, like, in the first game, in order to recruit Rickard, you need Julian, who's also a thief. Rickard's a thief, Julian's a thief. So basically, if Julian's killed, you just never get a thief again, because you can't recruit Rickard either. This is the reason that Marth has the Fire Emblem and that can open doors and chests. Because if you didn't have that, you could just be screwed out of chests forever. I mean, they're chest keys, but still. I don't know, Rickard's kind of just annoying. Okay, yeah, you are the substitute character. I was pretty sure. Go with Brighton then. Oof, yeah, sorry, Sephiron's way more interesting. And Brahm's kinda nice. I'll at least choose Ephraim over him. I think I'll go with Braum here. Lex or Kyle? I actually kinda like Kyle. I feel like Kyle and Ford are pretty decent intro cavaliers. Lex is the only guy who knows how to use axes. He's the only man who isn't evil who knows how to use axes. Him and a couple of people who start on the wrong side in 2nd gen. We've been over this before. Yeah, Kakyoin does win over Dryas. Ooh, dang, sorry. Wolf Lesbian wins this one, Kurthanaga. All the ladies love Soleil, so I gotta go with her. I'm gonna go with Katria. I'm gonna go with Agma. Double check something. Yeah, you... Astrid, unfortunately, has, zero taste in men. Tragically straight. But she is kinda cool, so I'll go with her. Oof, 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 jeez, ouch, oh man. Fur, you're a good Myrmidon, but you're up against Lyn. You win over Zealot at least. Hanuman wins that one easily. Yeah, Drog gets a good attendance award. He's the knight at the start of both of Marth's adventures, so he shows up. That's about it. Saber, Clive, Lewis. He's no Devdam, but I think he wins this one. You've got a cool robot. Valter, you're the worst, and that's why you're probably going to be fairly high, because I also rate interesting villains fairly highly, and much like Mad King Ashnard, your claim to fame is just being unrepentantly terrible. But man, you're up against the lesbian, come on. She's gonna win that one easily. Marita or Zephyr? I mean, evil woman rule, but also Marita's pretty good. Tanith or Sue? Tanith's cool. Gifka? Gifka or one of the random Axe brothers? Remember the Axe brother from 6? Remember Wade and Lots? You probably don't. Ugh. I mean, I guess... interesting villain over the random Axe bro. You were so edgy, but it's Caesar, he's just kinda there. Did you at any point think I was gonna vote for Xander? I hope not. Lucas, obviously. Gee, Lucina, or just this guy who is okay when you see him in one run of Fates, and then he's tied to like the same plot point every time. You just get tired of seeing him, so yeah, go away. I mean, Berkut's just terrible. He is more interesting than Axe Brother in that he actually has a plot. I can have opinions on him as a character. Shanam or Fuga? I mean, I'll vote Fuga over you. Oh, dang. Sorry about that one. Meteor design's okay, but like Byleth's right there. Yep, Null definitely wins that one. Ozone actually might be up there as one of my favorite, like, starting knight characters. He's actually kind of interesting. You don't really get to see a lot of him until Hector mode, where he's the first to learn of Hector's brother's death, and he kinda has to hide it from him as desperately as possible. So there's just a bunch of cutscenes on Hector mode, where Oswin's just like, I don't know anything. I still think Blaine's up there, though. One's there. And there's Celine. Gonna go with Celine for that one. Maybe wins that one. Man, the Dawn Brigade just can't get a break, huh? I actually do kind of like the Dawn Brigade as the thing. Like, I actually kind of like that you start one of the games with just kind of a bunch of scrappy upstarts who have to overthrow an occupation, but... Although, would Zelkov even be one of my higher-rated murder guys in Fire Emblem? I think I'd probably put him over. Ooh, yeah, Florina easily. Olivia. Yeah. The Dawn Brigade is so interesting, but yeah, mechanically they're, like, almost all of them get screwed in different ways. Like Meg, the character who, in the past VODs of these, I have wanted to put over, who joins literally at the end of the storyline, the first chapter, or first act. And I don't just mean for the final chapter, I mean, you beat the last chapter, Meg arrives, and then you switch teams completely. It just goes to a different storyline. Renulf's pretty great, but Seth, gotta go with Aira. Oof, God, Roger. I mean, you're putting over other guys, Roger, that's good. Man, oh man, Nana's alright, and then Raedric is just the early game guy who sucks. I'm gonna give it to Nana. Get out of here. Jafar. Amelia is... Yeah, substitute. Not really accepting substitutes, I'm sorry. Oof. Gwen's another one that people typically don't like that much, but I'm gonna have to give it to her. Lenoan wins that one, though. Sapphire or Reptor. Again, cool old lady. Don't get a lot of those. Versus mid-game guy who sucks. In a game full of mid-game guys who suck. It is in fact a game mostly comprised of guys who suck. Like, all the bosses have to be at least a little more important than they usually are for being, you know, randos. So, like, even early game guys, politically speaking, are just guys who suck, and then you go to the castle and kill them. But, you know, he's actually one of the end mid-game ones. He's the important guy of the important guys. So I guess he went over Veronica, I guess. Volk's very straightforward and also likes money. Is about to just leave it at very straightforward, but then I realized Tobin's also in it for the money, but like for family reasons. Volk is just very professional. So I'm gonna go with Tobin. Wins over Wade though, that's for sure. Man, you're just so boring. Samuel's weird. I'm gonna go for him. Norn... Oh, God. I guess you win this one, Astrum. Hira's character... Hold on a sec, let's see... Full body... What's Baldur look like? You're kinda cool. I guess I'd probably draw for you. This one's a toss-up, cause... I do like Brady. I think I'm gonna go with Boulder. Oof, man. Yeah, sorry, Myson, but gotta go with Camus. Alright, gotta wrap up soon, because it's 9 o'clock, so let's just do a few more. Oof. I want to vote for Sheena, but, like, Daydu's great. Aw, man. Oh, at least I can vote for Dorothy for something. I gotta put her over somehow. Haltina is, you know, technically not specific to heroes, but, you know, being playable is specific to heroes. And also, she was pretty cool in Heroes. I did actually draw for her back when I was playing that. And she was pretty great. I liked her. Debarn. Oof. Once again, Archer versus Archer. It's just pitting all these guys together. It's so they're able to counterattack. You know, Varian actually does have some interesting points, but Alchrist wins that one. Stall. Good job, you Bello. You were up against Marty. You win that one. Did say I feel bad for the Dawn Brigade, so Dawn Dad gets to pull one over, I guess. Alright, what are we at? 532? Go to 540, I think. Grail wins that one. You're up against an early Cavalier, Sakura. I guess I'll go with... not Gaius, I'll go over with, Ganglon over Hans, though. Yeah, I can like Uranus. Boa sucks. Katarina easily. I guess Holst is more interesting than Rise, but I really don't like looking at Holst. Aw, man. Here's another cruel one. Hector's so good, I gotta go with him. Euphoria's cool. Yeah, Edelgard was on screen, easy choice. Yeah, Renea mostly just exists to become a gal on fire, so... I mean, I guess Nemesis in a way is also used by people, but... It still feels like, yes, Agency, oof. More interesting. Orochi, Sonya... I'm gonna say... Oh yeah, Felix definitely. Jill, and we're at number 550, so... we're gonna leave off here. 10 over what I said before, because I just got distracted by picking more things. I mean, the choices are right here. It's way too easy to just go, I'm gonna pick that one. Thankfully, though, for number 550, we got a pretty difficult one. In that, I don't really care about either one of you. But again... Can't use a tie, self-imposed rules. I'm not gonna tie anybody. But yeah, we'll leave it off here, and maybe we'll see these two immediately next time. I don't know, maybe it'll be a different pair and then we'll see these two afterwards. Sometimes FE Sorter has a few hiccups, but it's mostly been, you know, it is otherwise fine, so... Alright, that'll do it then, so I'm gonna end the recording here so I can keep the VOD separate. I'm gonna almost knock out an earbud. And then, yeah, I'll be back in a sec with some Ratchet and Clank. So, yeah, I'm gonna do all the stuff that points me in that direction.